Let's talk mental health and wellness after the military. There are a lot of common mental health challenges that military veterans face. A lot of people don't really know that or don't really understand what that means and what that looks like. So let's talk about that a little bit more. The service, sometimes people see so many different things. They experience so many different things. They face so many different challenges. They have a day-to-day that is structured, that is disciplined, that is beyond what you may even know, think, or believe, especially depending on what your rate is, meaning your job in the military, where you have served, what you've done, and what you've seen, right? So let's talk about the fact that people don't understand being a military veteran. What all you've done, it does not show on you. What you see is a regular everyday person. But what you don't know is mentally the stress, the strains, and emotionally the stress and strains that veterans have inside of them and that they're dealing with and that they may have. So let's look at the fact that because you know that, and because that is a very, very big possibility with a lot of veterans that are walking around here serving right next to you in your regular everyday job as a government civilian or as a contractor or in the civilian sector or private sector, they're working right next to you every single day. And because they have these different challenges that they have faced, they could be dealing with PTSD. They can be dealing with all these triggers and stresses and strains because of what they have experienced in the military. So I say that to say, be mindful of what people next to you could be dealing with or could be going with, especially after serving in the military. PTSD is a very real thing, and it does not take some big event for you to have PTSD. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder, and it does not take some major event for you to have PTSD. PTSD can be from events that could be as big or as small as anything you could imagine. Now, people dealing with PTSD could be triggered by some of the most, we think, smallest things or minute things, but for them, it is a very big deal. And we need to be mindful of this because it's very important to treat everybody with care because you don't know what they're dealing with and what they're going through. So just be mindful and just know that the person next to you, though they may look like they have it all together, that does not necessarily mean that they do. People who have served in the military have gone through a lot and they deserve just as much grace as the next person. So let's talk some practical wellness routines for stress and for sleep and for just everyday balance in your life. Now, I think that meditation, one, is very, very good for managing just your stress and rebalancing and recentering oneself. I think that there are so many apps out there that can be used that allow you the opportunity to do meditation. And so I have the Peloton app and I use that, and it offers meditation, sleep meditations, morning meditations, calming meditations. It has all of these offerings for you to get whatever you may need in reference to meditation. There are a couple other free apps out there that can be used. So do some research and look at what's going to be best for you. Meditations they also have for sleep. And so they have sleep meditations that you can use before going to bed. iTunes, if you have an Apple iPhone, they have rain sound, meditation, noise, and white noise, and all that stuff that you can listen to and use. And oftentimes that stuff is free. But I think the overall goal is to find ways to help you balance the stresses and the strains that you may have, and to help you find relaxation, to find mental stress relievers, and find emotional stress relievers for yourself. Those are key factors, and they are important in you maintaining your health and your mental state and your emotional state. Overall, your wellness and just being balanced. These are things that you can look into. Another option is therapy, support groups. There are coaches that help military veterans to deal with these type of things that they may have going on. And I think therapy is amazing. I have used therapy myself just to be able to understand myself, learn more about myself, understand some of my triggers, understand what I may need because I have not dealt with certain traumas in my past, in my younger life and things like that. And it works because it makes you sit back and think how, why, what, when, and just what to do differently in order to have a different perspective, so that when I'm triggered by these things, I may be able to see them differently now that I've gotten some help and gotten some therapy or gotten some coaching. And that is very, very important, because people dealing with stresses and strains and PTSD and things like that after serving sometimes have not worked through some things that could cause them stress, strain, and cause them to be triggered by certain things. You need to know where to go, where to look, and where you can find resources. And people understanding that as outsiders looking in could be helpful and could be beneficial as well. Not judging people and not questioning how or why you think that way. People sometimes are the way they are because of what they have gone through, and it's very important, like I said, to just be mindful. Now, there are several holistic approaches you can take to find balance and to maintain your overall wellness, and it's whatever works for you. Whatever you need. If you need some herbal medication, if you need some, you need to go out and take a walk, you need to just kind of go for a swim, you need to sit out in the rain. People do what they have to in order to find relief and to separate themselves and to disconnect. And I'm all for whatever works for you, but find a way to work through things and to try and heal from things so that you can move forward in life. That is the goal. The other goal is also thriving emotionally while you are building the next chapter of your life. After the military, sometimes people talk about how they've lost their identity, how they've been so institutionalized, and how they are just lost as to what the next steps are, how to do this, how to do that, what should I do next, where do I find this information. It's very important, once again, to do some research, get in support groups, ask questions, don't suffer in silence, and to get the answers you need to get so that you can thrive and so that you can move forward. In the midst of all of that, hopefully you are doing these steps to help you center and to help you to thrive and to help you to heal and to help you to become your best self after you have experienced a whole chapter of serving in the military. Now it's time for you to serve self and to dive into what you need in order to be your best, healthiest self. And I'm hoping that this video will kind of just, give you some insights and maybe trigger some thoughts that you may have in your own head about how to thrive mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually after you've served in the military and now it's time to serve self. Hopefully you're hearing something, or you're being triggered to take some steps that are going to help you be better and do better for yourself. Serving in the military, it takes strength, it takes courage, it takes change of lifestyle, it takes a lot. And once you've done it, you have become oftentimes a very different person. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse, sometimes there is a mix. But the goal is to, now that you've served, turn around and serve self. Find out what you need for you, get what you need for you, and do what you need for you. So I'm hoping that this was insightful, that this, like I said, just triggers some thoughts, and that it just gets people talking about whether you have served in the military or whether you're working with someone who has served in the military, recognizing them for who they are, what they've gone through, and what they could still be going through, and have grace for them. And this is vice versa. There are people who have not served in the military who suffer from these same things and who need these same things. So the goal is to, we are people, have grace, don't judge, and let's heal and be able to get in spaces where we can work together and lift each other up. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully it got, like I said, some conversations started and made people think about some things. And continue to follow the From Service to Self series, and I'll try to drop some gems and key pointers as we continue. So until next time, bye.